Great stuff. So with us on the stage, we welcome Sean Whitty. Hello, Sean. Can you hear us?
Hi, Clemens. Yep, I hear you. You hear me all right?
Yes, excellent.
Perfect.
Excellent. Whenever I see that video, I get excited again. I was happy to show it to you guys briefly today, and welcome. Thank you for being here. My name is Sean. I'm CTO Central Europe for Adobe. And today I want to talk to you about going beyond the hype to intelligently deliver a personalized total experience. So I hope you're all energized by my purposefully provocative title. And after watching the brief clip about how we use AI at Adobe to turn that vision into reality. And I know, and you all know, that AI isn't hype for any of you here today. But to be honest, business stakeholders ask me all the time how it can truly bring their business value and deliver impact. And in fact, our last question about scalable business models is right in that same domain. So to begin to answer these questions, I'd like to start by linking experience to data. We as humans learn by experience and not always our own experiences. And this helps us as individuals to form our own opinions and proactively make decisions which create new experiences and establish frameworks for expectations and desires. And that all sounds a bit like an oxymoron because history has taught us that you can't use past behaviors alone to predict future behaviors. And so in today's presentation, I want to show you how Adobe enables that personalized total experience and uses AI to enhance it further. Let's establish a bit of context. At Adobe, our mission is to change the world through digital experiences. So from the moment you wake up in the morning until you go to bed at night, the media you consume, the ads you see, the apps you use, the website you browse and shop on throughout the day, the chances are that every one of those experiences were touched by Adobe technology. Experiences have been at the core of our business since the company's founding. And Clemens, you could actually go back. Through our products, we're transforming how people learn, work, play, and do business. And that's the power and opportunity in digital experience. So in its essence, Adobe gives everyone from emerging artists to global brands everything they need to design and deliver exceptional digital experiences. And with that, we can move forward to the next slide. Let me ask a rhetorical question. When you think of Adobe, what technology and products come to mind? And so long ago, and no longer today, I greatly hope, the answer was Photoshop and PDF. But since we've made the successful transition to the cloud over a decade ago and massively expanded our marketing tech solutions portfolio, our mission has actually become clear. We're an end-to-end provider of exceptional customer experiences. And from the way technology is shaping our daily life to the digital behaviors that we track online, we're in the center of a digital revolution that is shaping our strategy. So with Creative Cloud, we're unleashing creativity for all, enabling anyone, anywhere to access the tools to build beautiful experiences. With Document Cloud, we accelerate document productivity, even when your teams can't meet in person. And with the Adobe Experience Cloud, we power digital businesses, helping you design and deliver experiences that drive profitability and loyalty. Okay, by now, you might be asking yourself, what does that all mean in terms of data intelligence? And Clemens, if you give me a click, or actually two, that would be great. So Adobe's approach is around three complementary intelligence domains: creative intelligence, content intelligence, and experience intelligence. And we call this Adobe Sensei. It helps creators deliver smarter, more efficient experiences faster, handling mundane or time-consuming tasks to free them to focus on what matters most. And Adobe Sensei gives creators more time to be creative by using AI and machine learning and deep learning to speed up the creative process and enable a richer interaction with customers at all touch points. So we've used our experience in creating content, publishing content, and monetizing content to train algorithms and to understand words and paragraphs or forms. And Adobe Sensei lets the technology automate repetitive tasks, get deep insights from very specific pieces of content, and boost your productivity. If we looked over content-wise, leading brands are focusing on providing an amazing experience to their customers with every interaction, seeing more and more of a view of individual customer journeys that need to be orchestrated around life events. And this is actually applying to the experience intelligence. So Adobe Sensei helps organizations to deliver the right content to the right person at the right time. In other words, to drive personalization at scale, which we're going to talk about in a moment. And by the way, Adobe Sensei is the only comprehensive AI technology offering that deeply understands these three intelligence domains: creativity, content, and experience. If we start with our highest level message that Adobe is focused on making the digital economy personal, the next message down in our kind of waterfall approach is CXM, customer experience management. And to meet customer expectations, customer experiences must be personalized, they must be timely, they must be relevant, they must be connected across all channels, which leads us into what I alluded to on the last slide, personalization at scale. And that's one of the most, if not the most important aspect of CXM today that brands should be focused on right now. We've been talking for a long time about how customers have high expectations, and you can still go back, Clemens, don't want to confuse the picture too much. We'll move on in just a moment. For personalized digital experiences, but as digital businesses and digital interactions have grown faster than anyone could have anticipated, those expectations for compelling and personalized experiences have grown with it. And the good news is here at the bottom of our slide, you see that this is what Adobe Experience Cloud does. There is no more comprehensive solution for personalization at scale than Experience Cloud, powered by the Adobe Experience Platform. So now we can move to the next slide, Clemens, and I'll ask another question. How do you build a modern customer management experience management system? How do you ensure that it's future-proof? And in theory, it's not that complicated, right? It all starts with the customer and data. At first, we need to radically deepen our understanding of who our customers are. To do this, we need to monitor every touch point across physical and digital channels. And we have to recreate their personas in bits and bytes. And we need to personalize their touches in real time, and then incorporate machine learning to identify their preferences and anticipate their needs. And if that weren't enough, we need to do all of this while navigating privacy laws and data policies. Sounds easy, right? So to be able to do customer experience management at the kind of scale necessary, AI has to be a key ingredient. And Adobe Sensei, as you see on this next slide, is built into all of our products with purpose-built AI designed to do experience-specific tasks that help inform and refine and then scale personalized customer experiences in real time. Put slightly differently and more concretely, and maybe even simply, we provide AI out of the box. We focus typically on pre-trained algorithms that augment and automate specific use cases. And at Adobe, enhancing our products with AI functionality, it means augmenting and supporting the individual. It's never about replacement or redundancy through automation. And really, we automate the tasks those mundane tasks that no one wants to do or no one can do. In other words, we amplify your ability to gather and act on insights and predict your customer's next best experience. So here it is, the Adobe Experience Cloud. And I like to call this our marketecture. You can see the scope of our commitment to our AI enhancements with Adobe Sensei, which is a fundamental building block for a wide range of customer experience management tools to digitally transform and deliver holistic, personalized experiences at scale, tailoring each moment of the customer journey to each customer. Okay, so you might be asking yourself, how does Adobe Experience Cloud enable all this? And what are all of these products that some of which I've never heard of? Ignore the product names for now. I wanted you to see and understand the importance and the scope for Adobe. So to optimize customer experience, Adobe Experience Cloud integrates customer experience technology and data to simplify experience creation, execution, measurement, and optimization. Unlike other providers, Experience Cloud is purpose-built, it's extensible, and it's integrated with your creative tools. Adobe can help any business digitally transform and become digital first. And to do that in this digital first or digital only world, The only real means to customer loyalty is through the customer experience. It's that simple. So first, you've got to start with a foundation based on data and insights. Next, you need a platform to bring together that data from across the enterprise. And importantly, to do so in real time, for real. And finally, you need a means to action the insights based on that data through the content you develop and deliver. And then by making every moment shoppable for your customer and by managing the journey that customer has with you so that their experience is seamless and connected. Okay, let's take a break from the slides. Next, I want to show you a few of our exciting AI-based enhancements in detail. And rather than look at boring feature lists or product roadmaps, I've selected 3 examples for today. So let's take a closer look behind the scenes. First, I'll show you something out of our Adobe Sensei research lab, which was first demoed publicly at the end of 2021. And with that, Clemens, give it a shot with the video, please. There we go. Okay. Again, Adobe Stock provides the images we're looking for, but maybe finding that specific pose you're looking for is difficult. And imagine you really like a specific model, this model, for your online product content, but you don't like her pose. So there are several Adobe Stock images with the desired pose. Is there any way to transfer these poses to the desired model? With Strike a Pose, in order to enable reposing, we just need to provide an image of a model whose pose will be changed, followed by a target image from where the pose would be borrowed. And Strike a Pose will handle the rest of the magic to generate a completely new image of the model in our desired target pose. And this is really amazing, given that this image never existed in the real world and the entire image was generated from scratch. So we were also curious how this model would look when facing backwards. So we took a picture of our engineer Krishna facing backward and provided it as a target image. And again, Strike a Pose generated a new image of the model facing backward. And this is an extremely challenging task, as a lot of you know, because we need to hallucinate the entire back portion by just looking at the front side of the source image. Here we use Strike a Pose to generate all of these different pose variations of the model. And this is truly remarkable because this model never posed in any of these poses before. But still, Strike a Pose was able to generate all of these different pose variations just using a single image as a reference. So you might be wondering, can we replicate similar magic on an existing photo collection? Our engineer Krishna said, why not? And he used a photo of his fiance where she didn't like her pose as a source, followed by an image of the pose she liked as a target image. And again, Strike a Pose, powered by Adobe Sensei, did its magic and generated a completely new image of his fiance in the pose she really liked. So basically, we can easily change any bad pose in our personal photo collection using Strike a Pose. This is an amazing demo that shows the power of Adobe Sensei for creatives, but combined with a clear use case for content and e-commerce. And that's really cool stuff. If we move on to the next slide, I want to talk about Experience AI, where we find even more interesting use cases to enable sales and marketing departments to create the best end-to-end customer experience. Adobe Experience Platform enables brands to derive deeper insights, make predictions on consumer behavior, and use that information to deliver better customer experiences. And with our data science workspace powered by Sensei, brands can operationalize AI and ML services to, for example, predict customer behavior. So these predictions, for example, such as propensity scores, can automatically enrich customer profiles. The data science workspace provides customers with the flexibility of creating, importing, or using pre-built models from Adobe, training the models with Adobe product data or any other data they want to use, and then to operationalize those models to automate insights. And this is a capability that really democratizes machine learning by allowing users with different levels of data expertise to have access to ML models. And additionally, preparing data for machine learning consumption can be very time consuming, as I'm sure you all know, because oftentimes the data isn't centralized and it's not normalized, and it can typically take weeks, days to weeks to get data into a data lake and perform the modeling and then pipe back the results, the systems of engagement to influence the customer experience. With Experience Platform, customers can significantly reduce the time to insight because the data is already centralized and standardized in the platform, enabling customers to light up models without any extra data preparation required, and insights are automatically added to profiles. So next slide, please, Clemens. Thank you. Our customer AI allows brands to accurately uncover specific segments of users and target each with the right marketing campaign. Promise you we'd go in the direction of sales and marketing and that end-to-end customer experience. Take a subscription service with millions of users, for example, who through retention scoring could now see which individuals are most likely to cancel their membership and which to target for an upsell campaign. This will drive decision-making on specific brand experiences that help retain users, while at the same time, of course, also very importantly, targeting happy subscribers with upsell services. So we've seen highly accurate customer intelligence predictions amongst our customers. For example, customer AI is allowing Adobe to generate 1.5 billion plus propensity scores daily with associated reason codes to power our data-driven operating model, and we call it the DDOM, across different use cases, including conversion propensities, churn propensities, upsell propensities, win-back propensities, etc. And as another example, customer AI successfully identified customer segments that are 4 times as likely to convert and 6 times as likely to churn for a large brand through the top decile of propensity scores. So here marketers benefit from delivering advanced insights across defined outcomes to enable stronger audience segmentation and targeting, by enabling segment-based behavioral modeling to understand the rationale and likelihood of a user taking a specific action, and a simple configuration mechanism to customize for each company's unique use cases and data sets. And maybe a couple of use cases to make it a bit more concrete. What about growing and activating new customers? For example, promotional email to users who have a higher chance of conversion. Retainment, proactively reduce churn. For example, segment high-risk users for personalized treatment. Engagement is another use case. Increasing engagement with existing users, for example, through something like a private preview for customers to drive product usage. And finally, enhancement, personalizing that customer experience. So how about another Adobe Sensei enhancement for Experience AI? Let's look at attribution. And to take it down a level, let's briefly talk about what attribution is. It's a big buzzword and it means different things to different people. But at its core, attribution exists because of a common challenge, and that is that a person is exposed to your brand in multiple ways before they ever become a converted customer. The ultimate question that attribution is trying to answer is, which touch points deserve credit and how much credit on the path to conversion? And what about marketing touch points for non-converting paths? So Attribution AI is a machine learning tool that answers, what is the value of every marketing and advertising touch point? And our data science team has built and configured Attribution AI to not only understand how to allocate credit across each one of those touch points, shown here based on the user behavior and based on the impact of your marketing campaigns, we also examine your data set and look at things like, how is your email or search driving people to actually purchase? But we're also able to understand your incremental contribution to that purchase. And that's a bit out of the scope of today's conversation, but happy to follow up on that offline in terms of how we do it. So now let's talk about what makes Adobe unique in delivering Attribution AI. And this workflow, by the way, is very similar for customer AI as well. So it's flexible. It can be configured by a non-data scientist to build and train the AI model on top of your data set, and the scoring is done automatically. The first training takes up to 24 hours, but typically we've seen it on average take up to 3 hours, depending, of course, on the size of your data set. And finally, it's actionable. So, the next step is the action. Once the training is complete, it's very flexible in how you consume those insights. So you can consume the insights within the tool itself. If you give me a click, Clemens, thank you very much. Your insights, in your insights dashboard, a third-party BI tool that's directly integrated, or in a next-gen application such as from Adobe's Experience Cloud, like Customer Journey Analytics. Okay, thanks for hanging in there. By now, I've talked about some of the great ways that Adobe Sensei powers our Adobe Experience Cloud and the other clouds while integrating with creative and content intelligence. And I've shown you Strike a Pose for creativity and content. And we looked at customer AI and attribution AI for Experience Cloud. So does it really work? And if so, who's using all of this? Well, here's just a sample of the world-class customers that we serve across geographies and across industries. And with that, it's time to look ahead and to talk about what's next. So today I've talked about some exciting new features to help us move beyond the hype to intelligently deliver a personalized total experience. And where does Adobe go from here? We will continue to pursue our vision to democratize data and AI. Consumers of AI services are, of course, becoming more tech savvy, but there should be no need to be a data scientist or an engineer or a developer to consume these services, specifically those provided by us. And so what about you? What's your next step? I'll give you two. One, join one of our communities, like the exclusive Experience Makers community, to get curated content for your roles, starting at the C-level, including multi-day boot camps, tech academies, industry communities, book clubs, marketing events, and those exclusive C-level dinners. And two, if you think that what we talked about today will help you and your business, or more importantly, your customers, to personalize an exceptional customer experience and to do it at scale, or if we sparked your curiosity and you want to see more, reach out to me or Birkan directly, and we'd be happy to help you with our regional teams in Austria and throughout Europe to get you started on that journey. So thank you so much for your time, and enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you very much, Sean. So your presentation obviously inspired our users. We have one very practical question. Will Adobe Sensei be included in all of Creative Suite?
Oh, that's a great question. And I'm not stalling for time. I'm just, I have several answers to that question. That's why I consider it a good one. What we're doing right now, and I went behind the scenes into the research lab to show you something that was recently publicly demoed, and to give you a taste of what we're working on. And some of those features may or may not make it to the final general availability. Our typical process is an early alpha stage, limited beta release for a select few customers before general availability, and that all happens quite fast. I don't think that all of the Sensei technologies will apply to all of our creative tools, but we're continually adding new features, especially those that relate to the end-to-end customer experience, as opposed to point solutions, which really only exacerbate the problem of data and overall operational silos inside your organizations, and even worse for your customers. Those end-to-end solutions, we're bringing them more and more into all of our clouds and all of our solutions to break down our own silos to better address what our customers and your customers need. So that was a bit of a long answer. Not all the features will make it there, but we will be integrating more and more end-to-end capabilities, and there's a whole lot more to come.
So a cliffhanger for the audience. Stay tuned.
I mean, I could also follow that up with, if you're interested to see more about specific features for specific products or for a product portfolio, reach out to me directly. I'll connect you to the right team. I'll also walk you through it, and we can give you some more specifics in terms of really what I wanted to do today was actually not include the boring roadmap features, but we can go through that. We can share information about what we're planning, what we're working on, and overall development timelines and give you as a current or potential customer an idea of what's coming when to what products.
Excellent. Thank you very much. There are also a couple of questions which dive into the technical details. So instead of asking each of these questions, I was wondering, is there a place where people can read like which technology is used for this style transfer or for this strike a pose and so on?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we actually, in the presentation, I did link you through a couple of QR codes. On the final slide, it was actually just contact information. But a few slides back, if you go through the on-demand session and link yourself to strike a pose, for example, you'll have a couple of resources where you can find more information. I'd also point you in general to our Experience League, which is an online public documentation, technical documentation and specification repository available to all of you. Explore those resources because we go into a lot more detail about what we're doing for Sensei and overall in intelligence services. And if you don't find the information you're looking for, or if it really just whets your appetite, reach out to me. You've got my contact information, and I'm really happy to follow up with more information, and or where necessary, I'll connect you to the right people to have that technical deep dive conversation with you and your organization.
Perfect. Thanks a lot. We will also disseminate the links and the QR codes. Plus, later on, the presentation will be available as as a recorded stream on YouTube and on LinkedIn. So, Sean, thanks a lot for tuning in. Also, my apologies for the slight technical hiccups, but you have a studio. You have a studio on your side. We have a studio on our side. And studios, it's complexity and interfaces, but we managed. So thanks a lot also for your patience.
Thank you, Clemens. You guys did a great job. It was a pleasure to be here, and looking forward to further presentations and discussions.